It's time for race 2 at Laguna Seca for the Wednesday series of Zero Racing. I have already done a video on this race, and it did not go great in the sense that it got corrupted. So if I seem slightly less enthusiastic, that is your reason why. Let's kick off then. On the pole position, inheriting the pole with Mark Klabzul's inability to make the grid, Dave Collins. Second on the grid, Mike Magasevich for Golden Bolt. Team Shoshma's Rick Martel is third. Alex Hayes is fourth. Fifth for Dean Reimers of Team Golden Bolt. Sixth for Mike Mark of Zagato Piston. Seventh, after a fantastic recovery drive, Wesley Stokes of Team Shoshma. Team Zagato Piston championship leader Jason Mons will start from 8th, and Michael Schneider for MMS Performance Engineering will start from the back. Race 1 winner. Just 9 cars on the grid. Let's roll. And the pole sitter for the second race in a row has gotten a relatively poor start. Mike Magasevich is down the inside into the lead. Pressure is going to be on Collins to hold against Alex Hayes. And, Rick Martel gets absolutely slashed off. That's cruel and unusual. Hayes up the inside of Collins, but cannot get the position quite yet. Up into third is into fourth is Mike Mark. Fifth is Dean Reimer. Sixth is Michael Schneider from the back of the grid. Seventh is Wesley Stokes. Eighth is Jason Mons. Ninth is Martel, who, like we said, got a little bit sideswiped in the first corner. Dave Collins is out wide, and that's going to drop a bunch of spots. Alex Hayes is through. Mike Mark is through. Dean Reimers is coming through. Michael Schneider's up on the back end of him as well. Demoting Collins down into 5th position. Magasevich holding off against Alex Hayes for the moment at the front of the pack. He really didn't have the pace to stay here in race 1. Can he make some adjustments in race 2? Overtaking opportunities are at a premium on this track, and Alex Hayes loses to the inside line of Mike Mark. He overcooked into the turn, and Mark is into 2nd place. Reimers is 4th. Dave Collins is in 5th for now, but I would say he's about to drop a couple spots as Michael Schneider, Wesley Stokes, and Jason Mons are all crowded up in behind him. They're going 3 wide in behind Collins. This could get messy. Schneider's going to hold position, but Stokes and Mons might have a switch of places here. Mons is down the inside. Thought about going down the inside of Schneider. It looks like he will get the better of Wesley Stokes, but Stokes has the inside line into the next corner. This is an 11th lap race. And Stokes is going to hold on to 7th for now. Magasevich remains at the front of the grid again ahead of Mike Mark, Alex Hayes, and Dean Reimers. Dave Collins is leading the second train there in 5th place. Wesley Stokes is making a move on Michael Schneider. They have a little bit of contact in their battle for 6th place. Schneider holds on for now. Dave Collins going a little bit wide. That opens the door up against him. 4 cars heading towards the corkscrew in very close proximity. Schneider gives a little bit of a shove off to Dave Collins. Jason Mons spins out as well. Wesley Stokes is through on Collins into 6th place. And then into 5th place with a beautiful move around the outside of Schneider. But Collins and Schneider come together in the corkscrew. Both of them spin around. Rick Martel says thank you very much. Picks up a couple spots. And Jason Mons may as well. Mike Mark, in the meantime, has taken the lead. Let's go have a look at how that happened. He must have been in the kink, is my guess. Yep, I'm correct. He actually comes from a long way back. Magasevich just overcooks it into the kink and loses the position, and was heavily assaulted by Alex Hayes for 2nd place, but hangs on to the position, which is the lead of the Academy Cup as well between him, Hayes, and Reimers. Also the Academy Cup, Schneider and Collins. Just 4 factory qualified drivers in the field. Dean Reimers briefly pulled alongside Alex Hayes, but could not hold the position. Wesley Stokes is into 5th place after the accident between Collins and Schneider. 6th is Martel. 7th is Schneider. 8th is Mons. 9th is Collins. We continue on. Lap 3 of 11. Mike Magus leading a bit of a train here with Alex Hayes and Dean Reimers crawling all over the back of him. And Wesley Stokes is coming hard as well. Hayes looking down the inside. Little contact between the new BMW and the old BMW. Magasevich holds it in the Z4. Battle continues through the corkscrew for second place. And Rick Martel still holding sixth ahead of Schneider and Mons and Collins. Mike Mark, in the meantime, opening up a bit of a gap as he looks to secure the victory. Finished fourth in race one, losing a podium in the very late stages to Stokes. Alex Hayes has a better run going into turn one, but he does not stick the nose up the inside. Magasevich holds a clean, tight line while Hayes loses the back end just a little bit. That will keep second place in the hands of the Canadian for now. Hayes very desperate to get around him, and I do not blame him. He has Dean Reimers and Wesley Stokes breathing down his neck. Stokes looking to the inside of Reimers, and it looks like he's got the position for fourth as they head to the corkscrew, but Reimers not done, looking to make a comeback. But Stokes secures the position. We ride on board with Alex Hayes as he looks for a way around Mike Magasevich into second place. They're keeping with Mike Mark, who's not really disappearing into the distance. Definitely quicker. Hayes looking down the inside, cannot get the move on. Stokes a little bit wide out of the last turn, but has a good run on Hayes into turn one. Looking to the inside. And Hayes shuts the door a little bit forcefully. Let's have a look at that in a closer look. So let's see here. Did Stokes have any real overlap? I have to say no. That was probably on Stokes to back out. Hayes ends up getting punted a little bit hard done by, and he drops back from third to fifth. In the meantime, Michael Schneider is hunted down and passed Rick Martel for sixth place. And Jason Mons is looking to do the same for seventh. Dave Collins has retired from the race, so he will take home a DNF for this one. Mike Magasevich still holding on against Wesley Stokes and Dean Reimers. Alex Hayes in the background in fifth place. Stokes is looking for a move inside in the corkscrew. This could be messy. Can they make it? No, they both overcook it. Gonna put Dean Reimers into second place suddenly ahead of Alex Hayes. Magasevich rejoins in fourth. Stokes in fifth. Their own worst enemies in that particular instance. Rick Martel getting a little bit of shape out of the corkscrew as well. He will drop to seventh place behind, or eighth place behind Jason Mons. We're on lap 6 of 11. Mike Mark is still leading the way, having taken the lead away from Mike Magasevich. Second place is now Alex Hayes, who's gotten past Dean Reimers, as is Magasevich. And just about everybody except for Rick Martel. What the has Reimers done? He was in second place. So he's had an off. Question is, was it an assisted off, or did he just lose it on his own? Looks like he just loses it on his own. Gets a little bit of sand. Kicks up, ends up off the track. And just like that, that's going to put him back into, well, it was sixth place, but he loses that to Mons because he spins again at the last corner. Mike Mark now pretty comfortably leading the race after a couple of problems. Mike Magasevich and Wesley Stokes going off, and now Dean Reimer's going off, and Alex Hayes, who earlier on in the race had a little bit of a punt of his own, is now in second place again. Magasevich under fierce pressure from Wesley Stokes, who would like to make it a double podium. Had a good recovery drive in race 1. Might be dragged before the stewards for his slight punt of Alex Hayes, although it didn't appear to be anything terribly malicious. Hayes probably should have been aware as well of the car on his inside, even if there was not an overlap. Michael Schneider has caught up to this group as well, the 5th place running McLaren, winner of race 1, so he's getting the pressure on as well. Stokes going down the inside into the final corner. Magasevich goes off. He's going to lose both spots. Should have backed out of that one and retained the spot ahead of Schneider. He is going to drop back to 5th place. Still probably fairly happy with that. He's not really had the pace all day. Mons in 6th place, 7th place for Reimers, and 8th place for Martel. Just 8 cars remaining running. So we lost Mark Labzul before the race and Dave Collins during the race. Still well in the lead, Mike Mark, followed by Alex Hayes, who I think is actually catching up to him a little bit. Wesley Stokes, Mike Schneider, Mike Magasevich, rounding out the top 5, followed by Jason Mons, Dean Reimers, and Rick Martel. This is lap 7 of 11. Through the corkscrew once again. Mike Magasevich fighting to hang on to his top 5 position, but he's going to lose it to the Zagato Piston championship leader, Jason Mons, moving up into 5th. Been a bit of a rough race from him as he spun in the early going and is now just kind of picking his way back through the field. Can he get higher than the 5th he has now? Either way, with the absence of Genghis Khan, getting a huge haul of points heading into Sonoma with a chance to be the champion with a round to go. Not sure on what the permutations are at the moment. Mike Mark heads into the corkscrew again. This has caught a number of people out. Through the kink he goes. Surprisingly difficult corner. You want to maintain a tremendous amount of speed while not going off into the sand, because the sand offers very little grip. Alex Hayes in 2nd place. Wesley Stokes is still holding off Michael Schneider, but they are getting forceful in the corkscrew. Stokes is going to have the inside line here, and it's going to allow him to stay in front. 2 corners left in the lap. But there are 3 laps after this one for the McLaren 650 driver to get around the Team Shostrom BMW Z4 of Wesley Stokes. Mike Magasevich falling back into the clutches of Dean Reimers and Rick Martel. So his race could have been a 2nd place if he had held it, but a couple of mistakes and a little bit of forcefulness has left him a bit behind. Hayes is now under pressure for Wesley Stokes. We thought he might have a chance at victory as he was chopping down on Mike Mark prior. But I think now he's got to worry more about staying in second place, making that BMW M6 nice and wide over these last 2 laps. This is lap 9. We're heading on to lap 10. This is an 11-lap race. Where's the champion? And he goes wide! He goes wide! He's going to lose second and third place. Jason Mons smells blood in the water. The BMW M6 seems to have lost the traction. Mike Magasevich also going very wide in the Z4. Dean Reimer is going to put the pressure on him into turn 1. Let's see how that turns out. These are Golden Bolt teammates. You have to think that the pit wall is very nervous about these two hitting each other, because it has happened before. Mike Mark rounding the last sections of the lap, heading into the final lap. Stokes still holding off Schneider, Alex Hayes, Jason Mons, and of course the interest is this battle for 6th place. Academy Cup 3rd place between Mike Magasevich and Dean Reimers. Magasevich the championship leader for Wednesday. Reimers, ironically, the Saturday leader. So the 2 potential champion-elects going head-to-head. Oh, Magasevich's getting wide. Sets him up to be the inside guy for the next turn, though. He will hold on for now. We're in the final lap here. Mike Mark leading from Wesley Stokes, who's under great pressure from the leader of the Academy Cup, Michael Schneider. Alex Hayes is in 4th place. He's under pressure from Jason Mons. The battle for 6th is on between Magasevich and Reimers, perhaps the closest of the battles on the track. And Rick Martel running in a relatively lonely 8th position. Got taken out in the early going and has not really managed to recover. Through the corkscrew for the last time. Stokes hanging on against Schneider. Hayes hanging on against Mons. Magasevich hanging on against Reimers. They're heading into the corkscrew for the final time. Magasevich keeps it nice and clean. Doesn't open the door. And Mike Mark is going to take the second race here at Laguna Seca. Lost the podium late in race 1. Avenges it here. Wesley Stokes is in 2nd place. Michael Schneider 3rd. Alex Hayes does hold off Jason Mons for 4th place. And Mike Magasevich is going to come home in 6th. Dean Reimers has ended up behind Rick Martel. Looks like he's had it off. Now, was it assisted? Was it because of an attempted to take an overtake? Doesn't look like it. Looks like just coming out of the corkscrew. He gets a little bit too much of that curb, puts him out into the sand, and then spins him off. And that will cost him 2 championship points. So as the Wednesday round from Laguna Seca, we'll be off to Sonoma for the season finale on the Wednesday series, but we still have 2 more races here at Laguna Seca on Saturday. Keep an eye out for those later this week. Until then, have a good time, and keep it clean out there.